what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And you're about to watch a little OTB LSU.
We're going to give you all the latest, greatest between LSU football, baseball, women's basketball, softball, and everything in between.
Bottom line, if you want to talk Tigers, keep it locked, subscribe, like it, and we hope you enjoy it. Let's go ahead and get to some of this transfer portal news. As the LSU Tigers have taken in another portal player. This time, it's a punter, Blake Ochsendorf. And you may be saying, well, T-Bob, a punter, that's, what, like, are we really talking about this? A punter in the portal? How much does that actually matter? Well, I would say this. Do you remember the quotes that Brian Kelly had coming out of spring on the punting position? Of course, Jay Bramblett now gone. Jay did a solid job last year. Peyton Todd, coming out of high school, ranked as the #1 punter in the entire nation out of Western Row. Very tall, great body. But I was kind of shocked at the time with Kelly's quotes, and I'll read them to you now to set up why Ochsendorf maybe matters so much here. This was Brian Kelly on Peyton Todd's performance after the spring game, in which I think Todd only averaged about 36 yards a punt, somewhere around there, saying, quote, "Not as consistent as I would like. I thought today was an opportunity for him to just say, there is no competition here. He's got to be more consistent, quite frankly. He's long. He's got all the tools. He's a classic case of today. You got 14 practices. You look great. But today, the ball was wobbling. It was not about what I was looking for, nor was it, or it's not what I was looking for, nor was it what he was looking for either. He's a great kid. But this is about performance. On Saturdays, he's got to do a better job." So, for all the talk of like spring game doesn't matter, or like when we say that a lot of times, it does in some ways, because it's the thing that most evokes the game day feel and maybe shows you who's going to step up when the game day feel is in the air. And unfortunately for Peyton Todd, he struggled to the point where they felt that they needed to bring in competition. And, well, bring in competition they did, because Blake Ochsendorf is a very good punter. In fact, like he said, La Tech last year, he ended the season first team all-conference USA. He's 6'6", 220. He averaged nearly 46 yards a punt on 53 punts last year, 45.72. That led Conference USA. He set the Louisiana Tech record for single-season average. He had 17 punts of more than 50 yards. He forced 25 fair catches, which again led Conference USA. He had punts of 70. He had punts of 66. And he's been in college football forever. I don't understand how he still has eligibility left, Taylor. Maybe you've explored this and can figure it out more. But he started in 2018 at Minnesota State University Moorhead. He played 2 years there, in which he averaged, I think, around like 38 yards a punt. So he's gotten better over the years. He played 2 years there. Then he transferred to Eastern Michigan from 2020 through 2022, which is 3 years. He didn't play there. Then he goes to La Tech last year, dominates, first team all-conference USA, and now he's at LSU in what appears to be his 7th season of college football. Again, I don't exactly know what the breakdown here is. There a medical and a red shirt mixed in there, plus a COVID year. Either way, you have a guy who was damn good last season, and I think I think back to the old Bill Parcells quote, and let me see if I can. Should I paraphrase it or should I just on filling out? Let me see if a quick Google search can pull this up, because there's a great old quote. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to find it just off the top here. There's a great old quote from Parcells about where he was basically asked, like, why do you put so much effort into, who's the 53rd man on the roster, right? Like, why do you put so much effort into trying to maximize whatever you have there? And he just talks about, look, man, in a 17-game season, it is those marginal advantages, right? Those decisions made in seemingly innocuous areas that end up being the difference between wins and losses. And when you're talking about punter, it's way more than the 53rd person on the roster. I mean, you're talking about somebody that you're going to be consistently relying on to set up your defense, to make up for mistakes offensively, to pin teams back and give them long fields. I mean, there's a reason why a team like Iowa is so obsessed with great punting, because it really sets up everything that they want to do from a team identity standpoint. And certainly that's not going to be LSU, and you hope the offense is good enough where the punter doesn't have to be too impactful here, but it's a massive position in terms of winning games. I mean, the game that will never leave my mind, and again, I hate to be old man here, and every year this gets increasingly longer ago, but the 9-6 game of the century back in 2011, Brad Wing won us that game by consistently flipping the field and setting up our defense for success and forcing Alabama to try to put together long drives, ended up in long field goals that they were consistently missing. I've never seen anything like it. Well, the bottom line is it's an incredibly important position if you're going to be a championship team. Special teams is one of the three pillars, and punter is basically 50% or damn near of what your special teams output is going to be. So this is a big pickup, in my opinion, in Ochsendorf, if for no other reason to bring in competition. I mean, who knows? Maybe this is the best thing that happens to Peyton Todd, right? At some point, some things click, and maybe bringing in competition, and it's going to drive you to practice more, leave no stone unturned, put everything that you have to try to win that starting job. Like, whether it's Ochsendorf or whether it's Todd, I believe the bottom line is after this signing, you're going to get a better punting performance than what you would have had. And if you're trying to put together a winning roster, you're trying to win in the margins, you're trying to get to that 12-team playoff that, LSU fans would expect you to be in, even though it's looking like a very crowded dance hall this fall. Well, these are the type of decisions that I believe help get you there. So I think this is a sneaky, great signing here with Ochsendorf if he can repeat what he did last season. And what a rise for Ochsendorf. Starting at Minnesota State University Moorhead, then Eastern Michigan where he did not play, then La Tech, and now to the big leagues, the SEC and LSU, where he'll be playing on national television damn near every single week. So I think again, a very shrewd move for Brian Kelly and company, and I'm excited to see how this competition plays out. Again, 6'6", 220 guys. That's a big boy, Ochsendorf is. But the bottom line, you got better with this move. And that should be the goal of any roster move that you make is, did it make you better overall? And this did. In the margins and then some, I would say. Wow, Jake, what incredible takes.
I mean, those guys, they're just the best.
I think so. And if you think so, again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post every single day here on OTB LSU.